Hi, I'm Angela Bradford, and I am an assistant professor in the School of Family Life at Brigham Young University. And actually, my primary teaching appointment is in our marriage and family therapy program. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and an AAMFT approved supervisor. I also, in addition to my clinical work and clinical research, examine the effects of relationship education. One of the things that I noticed early on was that people who are attending classes are not what we once thought or expected of people attending classes. These are not people who are happy and who are just wanting to enhance their relationships. In many instances, these are couples who are distressed, who are hurting, who want help, but maybe can't afford therapy or want to avoid the stigma of therapy, or there are probably a whole number of reasons. And so they're coming to classes. And so here you have in classes people who are from the range of happy, just want to learn a little bit more, to people who really are not very happy and might even be on the verge of divorce. So this caused me to wonder whether what we know about relationship education really does hold true across all groups of people. I don't really think one size fits all in any instance, actually. I think we really need to be tuned into diversity and the experiences of diverse people, diverse groups of people. And so this is one of those ways. As a therapist, I'm interested, of course, in distressed couples. And so I set out to kind of find out if there are differences. And this study, It's About Time, dot, 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 long title after that, is one of those ways. One of the studies that's recently been published about the moderators of change in relationship education was done by one of my colleagues, actually, Alan Hawkins. And he found that moderate length programs or moderate dosage programs produce the highest effects. Well, I wondered if that was the case for people who were relationally distressed as well as those who were non-distressed. And so I did that. I took our sample. The sample comes from Alabama. It was collected using ACF funds and spans now, I want to say, probably 8, 9, 10 years. It's been going on a while. And so I wanted to see whether changes that couples were reporting were the same, based if they were the same for both sets of groups, if that makes sense. And specifically, I was interested in the effects of time-related predictors, hence the name It's About Time. And so I looked at received dosage, which is how many hours they were in classes, and program duration, which is the length of the program from day one to day whatever. Because some programs last 4 weeks, some programs last 3 months. It just kind of depends. And so I looked at the relationship between those predictor variables and changes for distressed and non-distressed couples. And here's my headline news. Are you ready? Headline news is that when analyzing the sample altogether, everybody's changing in every domain. Received dosage matters to some extent. Also, duration matters a little bit. But when you break it out by group, when you look at distressed and non-distressed people, what you find is that actually non-distressed couples are only reporting small changes in negative interactions. They're not reporting changes in commitment, positive interactions, or relationship quality, whereas distressed couples are reporting changes in all 4 of those domains. So that really suggests that what's happening is that the experience of distressed couples is driving the statistical effects that we find in so many studies. Same thing happened when I looked at the relationship between received dosage, and program duration. That those there were relationships there that disappeared, were not the same when I looked by group. And what I ended up finding is, first off, that received dosage matters. Program duration didn't matter, but received dosage matters for distressed couples. And more so, it matters for the partner. So the greater number of hours a woman is in class, the more it matters for her husband, and vice versa. I will note that I did only look at heterosexual couples. We didn't have any homosexual couples in the sample, so that is definitely the next place we need to go. We don't really know a whole lot about homosexual couples in relationship education. So in this heterosexual sample, this is what I found. But how fascinating is that? This is my headline news, that what we think we know when we're analyzing the full sample might not actually be accurate, that effects may be driven by one group or another, or effects might be masked. And so really, I think it's important to start looking at who is in our classes, whose data are in these data sets, so that we can actually find out what works for whom and not prescribe this one size fits all kind of approach. so that people get the help they need, that we find out what we need to know about relationship education programs so that those can be improved. And so that therapists and educators alike will know how to best approach couples. If they come in and they're distressed, they might need more. If they're not as distressed, they kind of want to tune up, maybe they just need one or two quick sessions to make sure that they're on track. So that's kind of a snapshot, an overview of what I found. If you have time, I encourage you to read the article. You can certainly email me if you have any questions. It's not a difficult email. Are you ready? It's angela@byu.edu. Pretty easy. And so certainly email me if you have any questions. And I hope that you enjoy and can actually join in the dialogue and kind of become part of the discussion about how to proceed both in the research and in the practice of relationship education. Thank you so much.